everyone. This is William Armstrong, and I'm going to automatically go to the voice only. Since me showing my face continuously is a bit of a problem. Hang on. Let me just look into something real quick. I am going to be playing a little bit of PC gaming and talk about at least a little bit of cybersecurity, the weekend cybersecurity edition, a little bit. I'm going to jump in onto the news using my iPad, my old iPad, to read news from. I'll be bringing that to you right now. I decided to do PC gaming plus cybersecurity combination. I talk about what's going on. I learned that T-Mobile has had a data breach SIM swap attack happen on Bleeping Computer's website. I'll go ahead and get right into it. So, let's see. I'm using an old iPad that is incompatible with Netflix and other apps, dude, because it's using iOS 10. It is a little bit out of date on the operating system updates. PC gaming will start shortly, but I'm actually going to read a little bit of cybersecurity news, a little bit. Bleeping Computer will be the first part I'm going to go to read. Okay, I love Bleeping Computer because they've been around a lot longer. They first started being cybersecurity, or started posting on their blog, on their own website. It's been around since early 2004, which is 17 years ago. They were founded January 26, 2004. I was just a child in elementary school when they started up in 2004 to publish cybersecurity news. Bleeping Computer was founded in 2004 after Abrams could not find existing technical support since it could offer easy to understand instructions for his friends and family. Lawrence Abrams is the editor and founded it, and I like it because it's reliable to read. I'm going to read, first of all, I'm going to read with malicious Firefox incident involving Gmail account hijacks. PC gaming will start after I get through some articles, but then towards the middle part of the stream, towards the end, I'll do more reading. I'll read that, but I'll be right back after these messages. I gotta go take care of something. Hang on. Please wait. Stitch. Hi, Stitched. I'm back. I'm just here to talk. I'm just here to play games all the way until 10 p.m. and jump Twitch like I always do. My health is allowing me to do streaming unlimited. I don't feel ill. I don't feel sick. I feel great. I'm going to talk about this Gmail incident that people may need to know about. If you're using the Firefox browser, there's a malicious Firefox extension allowed hijackers to take over Gmail accounts directly. It says here several Tibetan organizations were targeting a cyber espionage campaign by a state-sponsored backed hacking group using a malicious Firefox extension designed to hijack Gmail accounts and infect victims with malware. Yikes! Well, Opera, either way, is unaffected. The attacks coordinated by the TA-413 Chinese-linked APT group, or Advanced Persistent Threat Group, started in January and continued throughout February, according to a Proofpoint report published on Thursday. The Chinese state hackers are also infected victims with the Scanbox malware reconnaissance framework, which allowed them to harvest their target's data and log their keystrokes. Okay, short note. Keystroke logging is kind of like a keystroke logger, like a keylogger that logs what you type on your keyboard. It automatically records your keystrokes that you type on the keyboard. It'll log passwords, texts, emails, anything you type in the keyboard. The keystroke will silent. The keystrokes are sent directly to the computer, but there's a keylogger that is sitting as a middleman, virtually reading keystrokes data that pass through the keylogger into the computer. The software is then set to transport it back to the attacker. And I'm going to jump back to it. Scanbox has been used in numerous campaigns since 2014 to target the Tibetan diaspora, along with other ethnic minorities, often targeted by groups aligned with the Chinese state interests, Proofpoint said. The tool is capable of tracking visitors to specific websites and performing keylogging and collecting user data that can be leveraged in future intrusion attempts. Okay, I'm going to explain how this works. Step 1 is the TA-413 operator that crafts a phishing email with a fake-looking YouTube link. It goes u-tube.tv, then a JavaScript profiling script kicks in. Non-Firefox browsers, it'll redirect you to a YouTube in 4A, but in 4B, it'll redirect you to Firefox. It'll be redirecting you to a. It'll redirect you to 5A inactive Gmail session. If you're using a Firefox browser, it'll redirect you to that. But if you're using a non-Firefox browser, it'll redirect you to YouTube, and then coming up, it shows corrupt extension .xpi not installed. Firefox uses .xpi things for extensions. After the active Gmail session is Firefox browser extension is called Firefox. It's Firefox browser. That's a malicious extension that gets installed. Then it automatically triggers that, and then shortly after, it'll do a Scanbox check-in to a strange URL, HTTPS URL. Then in 6, it redirects you to a strange Tibet.net. Then 7, Gmail access. Then 8, it does a Scanbox check. Then 9, the JavaScript is launched. Then the Scanbox heartbeat is then performed. And then last but not least is 11, the Scanbox basic post URL. So basically it's an attack flowchart that the attacker's written. I'll read more about the malicious Firefox browser extension. Phishing emails delivered by the TA-413 attackers to their target's mailboxes redirected them to an attacker-controlled U-tube, not to be confused with YouTube, all one word. It's u-tube.tv domain that displays a fake Adobe Flash Player update landing page. JavaScript profiling scripts executed from this domain would automatically prompt the targets to install a malicious add-on named Firefox if they were using the Firefox web browser logged into their Gmail account. If the potential victim used any other web browser other than Firefox, I repeat, other than Firefox, then you'd be redirected to the legitimate YouTube login page. So this extension automatically reads the browser's user agent string. If it sees Firefox inside of that string, it'll take you to the malicious website, but if not, it will redirect you to legitimate YouTube. It also does a check for the Gmail session. It's as if they were using the Firefox but weren't logged into a Gmail account. They'd be asked to add a corrupt Firefox add-on to the browser, which would fail to install completely. The Firefox malicious extension is based on the open source Gmail notifier Restart List Firefox add-on. Some Firefox add-ons are restart lists. Some require your browser to restart to be functional. Firefox add-on by changing its icon and metadata description to mimic a Flash update process. They also added malicious JavaScripts designed to hijack the victim's Gmail accounts and infect their systems with Scanbox malware. Once the victims get tricked into installing the Firefox extension, TA413 operators take over the user's Gmail account, yikes, and Firefox browser to perform the following malicious actions: hijack Gmail account. They can do a lot of dangerous things. They can search your emails. They can archive emails, receive Gmail notifications, read emails, alter Firefox browser audio and visual alert features for the Firefox extension. They can label emails, mark emails as spam, delete messages, refresh, forward, perform function searches, delete Gmail messages from trash. They can send email from the compromised account. Yikes. Firefox based on browser permissions, access user data for all websites. Yikes. That's another oops. Display notifications, read and modify privacy settings. Yikes. Access browser tabs. The use of the browser extensions to target private Gmail accounts of users combined with the delivery of Scanbox malware demonstrate the malleability of TA413 when targeting dissident communities, proof point concluded. These communities have a traditionally low barrier for compromise by threat actor groups, and TA413 appears to be modulating their tools and techniques while continuing to rely on proven social engineering techniques. Further technical details and indicators of compromise, IOCs, which is what it stands for, including infrastructure and malware sample hashes used in this campaign, are available at the end of Proof Point's report. Now, related articles about Gmail most targeted users from phishing, I'll read about that. This article was written on February 12th, 2021, not that long ago. I'm basically doing this in rotation. Google has revealed earlier this week that Gmail users from the United States are the most popular target for email-based phishing and malware attacks. These findings are part of a joint study with Stanford University researchers that analyzed and anonymized data from more than 1.2 billion malware and phishing emails. After inspecting phishing and malware campaigns blocked by the Gmail within 5 months, Google found that 42% of all the targets from the US, and with the next two most targeted users from being UK, 10% of all attacks, and Japan, 5% of attacks. The researchers also discovered botnets and attackers behind malware, and phishing email attackers are relying on fast churning campaigns where the same template will hit an average of no more than 1,000 potential victims. Such campaigns don't commonly last more than 3 days, but they were found to be behind over 100 million malicious emails targeting Gmail users from all over the globe. Okay, what I'm going to explain, I'm going to condense it down and break it down. Phishing attacks, phishing as in PH, not FISHING, not fishing as in you fish for fish in the water. Phishing with the PH is where somebody attempts to collect login details by pretending to be a login page for any website and things like that. Google recommends defenses for advanced phishing and malware protection are enabled by default. G Suite admins can also enable the security sandbox in G Suite Enterprises and G Suite Enterprises for education environments. This is only used directly in the G Suite environments. It's kind of different for home users. And so we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to discuss that. I will get to PC gaming. I will. I just wanted to go through security first, then jump to gaming. Not the reverse way around. This is another type of ransomware called Ryuk or Ryuk. It's a type of ransomware that's been covered a lot. It's a type of malware known as ransomware that encrypts files. It's basically now been updated with the new variant, a new Ryuk ransomware variant with worm capabilities that allow it to travel across networks on local networks has been discovered at the French National Cybersecurity Agency while investigating an attack in early 2021 of this year. Through the use of scheduled tasks, the malware propagates itself machine to machine within the Windows domain. ANSSI, short for the Agent's Nationalité de la Sécurité des Systèmes d'Information, said in a report published today. It's French, so I'm sorry if I butchered it. Once launched, it will thus spread itself on every reachable machine on which Windows RPC accesses are possible. It says self-replication other network devices. To propagate itself over the local network, the new Ryuk variant lists all the IP addresses in the local ARP cache and sends what it looks like wake on LAN packets. Wake on LAN packets are network packets that can wake a computer over a local area network remotely. So basically, if you have computers that are wake on LAN turn on, you could send a packet called Wake on LAN that sends a magic packet that'll push packets out to a computer to tell them to turn on remotely over the net, over your local network. You can do that. And I'll continue. Packets to each of the discovered devices. Then it mounts all sharing resources found for each device so it can encrypt the contents. What I just gave you about Wake on LAN or WOL is the short description of it. The additional information can be searched by searching Wake on LAN on Google, Yahoo, Bing, Go, things like that. It'll give you much more than what I gave you, than what I can understand. Ryuk's ability to mount and encrypt remote computers' drives was previously observed by Advanced Intelligence CEO Vitaly Kremez last year. What makes this new Ryuk sample different is its capability to copy itself to other Windows devices on the victim's local networks. Additionally, it can execute itself remotely using a scheduled task creator on each subsequent compromised network host with the help of legitimate schtasks.exe Windows tool. It's called scheduledtasks.exe. A Windows file that will schedule and launch tasks when created by the user. But malwares often tend to misabuse this feature too. The Ryuk variant analyzed in this document does have self-replication capabilities. The propagation is achieved by copying the executable file in the identified network shares. This step is followed by the creation of a scheduled task on the remote machine. Some file names are identified as copy rep.exe and lan.exe, ANSSI. Now I'm going to continue reading the lengthy article. While it doesn't use an exclusion mechanism that would prevent it from re-encrypting devices, ANSSI said this is the new variant can still be blocked from infecting other hosts on the network by changing the password of the privileged domain account and use this for propagation to other hosts. Yikes! One way to tackle the problem could be to change the password or disable the user account according to the used account, and then proceed to a double KRBGT domain password change, ANSSI said. This would induce many disturbances on the domain and most likely require many reboots, but also immediately contain the propagation. Other propagation containment approaches could also be considered, especially through targeting of the malware execution environment. Indicators of compromise are associated with this new Ryuk variant we found here. The Ryuk ransomware gang. Ryuk is a ransomware as a service, or RAAS, or RAS, group first spotted in August 2018 that has been left behind a long list of victims. ROS gangs are known for running private affiliate programs where affiliates can submit applications and resumes to apply for membership. Yikes. Ryuk is at the top of the RAS rankings, with its payloads being discovered in roughly 1 in 3 ransomware attacks throughout last year. The group delivers payloads as part of a multi-stage attacks using Emotet, BazarLoader, or TrickBot infection vectors for a quick way into their target networks. Ryuk affiliates have been behind a massive wave of attacks in the U.S. healthcare system starting in November 2020. They commonly ask for huge ransoms, having collected over $34 million just from one victim in the last year alone. After following the money circuit from Ryuk ransomware victims, security researchers from threat intelligence companies Advanced Intelligence and HYAS have estimate that the ROS operation made at least $150 million. During the third quarter of 2020, Ryuk affiliates have been observed hitting on average roughly 20 companies every week. Yikes! That's one. In T-Mobile, I'm going to read through 8 news articles on Bleeping Computer, and then the gaming begins. American telecommunications provider T-Mobile has disclosed a data breach after an unknown number of customers were apparently affected by SIM swap attacks. SIM swap attacks or SIM swap fraud, known as or SIM hijacking, refers to the subscriber identity module SIM card in your phone that allows scammers to take control of targets' phone numbers after porting them using social engineering or after bribing mobile phone operator employees to a SIM controlled by the fraudsters. Before I continue, I'm going to break it down to you all at once. Your subscriber identity module, known as SIM card, is in your phone. My phone here and my other phone use SIM cards to identify the subscriber on the cellular network. Basically, when you go to a cell phone carrier, you get your phone that's locked to the carrier's network plus SIM card. You put the SIM card in, activate it on the carrier's network, and now you have cell service. Same thing with prepaid and postpaid. But the SIM cards are affected to SIM swapping. CDMA networks, known as Code Division Multiple Access, is a type of network that Sprint, Verizon used to use. That network, CDMA, is unaffected by the SIM card swap attack because the phone at CDMA uses a MEID or electronic serial number printed on the box and on the phone. And when you activate a CDMA phone, you would have to give the serial number to the carrier on the list of approved phones with serial numbers to activate to become a subscriber to the service. That's exactly how CDMA works, but you would use the serial number on the phone or the box to give to the carrier. Then you put in you put in a code that triggers a programming screen on the phone to connect over the air and update and push the programming information down to the phone on the user side. But GSM phones do not require programming. They just need the IMEI and the SIM card number. And when you pair the two when the carrier pairs the two together, the SIM card and the IMEI of the phone, the two pair up. This will automatically bring the service to the selected device that's paired. But for unlocked phones, you can take any SIM card and pair it with any unlocked phone. But for locked phones, a T-Mobile SIM will only work on a T-Mobile phone that is locked. An AT&T SIM will not work in a T-Mobile phone if it is not unlocked by T-Mobile, vice versa. So I'm going to jump back. Subsequently, they received the victim's messages and calls, which allows for easily bypassing SMS-based multi-factor authentication, MFA, stealing user credentials as well as taking over the victim's online service accounts. That's a yikes. The criminals that can log into the victim's bank accounts to steal money, change account passwords, and even locking the victims out of their own accounts. The FBI shared guidance on how to defend against SIM swapping following an increase in the number of SIM hijacking attacks targeting cryptocurrency adopters and investors. Regular users that are non-celebrity or anything like that, regular users are also affected by the SIM swap attacks. The FBI at FBI.gov gives information about SIM swapping attacks. The attackers identify the victim first. They swap the SIM card second. Third, password resets. Fourth, access accounts. And fifth, steal currency. It's 5 things that they do on that pattern to attack someone. The FBI recommends you protect your personal information. 1. 2, protect your financial information. 3, you take precautions with your mobile service provider. 4, use two-factor authentication apps or physical security keys. Basically, I use an app called Microsoft Authenticator. I do not use SMS because SMS-based two-factor authentication is prone to being hijacked, but Google Authenticator or a physical security key is even better because you cannot hijack a physical security key. But the problem is physical security keys can be lost to anywhere, and it also enables somebody else to steal the physical security key and get access that way. If you suspect you may be a victim of SIM swapping, the FBI recommends you take several steps to mitigate any harm and report the incident to law enforcement. You access your accounts Access your accounts. Attempt to access your online accounts as soon as possible from a secure location or connection and change your password. Email accounts are normally the first target. You call your bank. You automatically tell your bank to place alerts for suspicious login attempts on your account. You look for unusual activity. Once online accounts have been reestablished, view your recent activity to check for any unusual activity. You need to check for unknown devices associated with the account, save any indicators of suspicious activity so you can report them to law enforcement. You can call your mobile service provider, report the incident to a physical location for your mobile service provider after your online account has been remediated. Attempt to ascertain when the SIM was ported to a new phone and gather the SIM card number and IMEI from the mobile provider. Save any bad actor SIM and mobile phone information, report to law enforcement. Call law enforcement, report the incident to FBI or your local police department. The public can report all suspicious activities to the FBI. There's the San Francisco division. There's multiple divisions of FBI in the U.S. Tips.fbi.gov, things like that. That's how you report if you've been prone to SIM swapping, if you've been hit by it. This occurs no matter what part of the U.S. you're in. I'm going to get back to the article. Undisclosed number of SIM swap attacks in a data breach notice sent to impacted customers. On February 9th, 2021, which was several weeks back, which is about a few weeks back, and filled with U.S. Attorney General offices, T-Mobile revealed that an unknown attacker gained access to customers' account information, including personal info and personal identification numbers, or PINs for short. As the attackers were able to port numbers, it is not clear if they gained access to an employee's account or did it through the compromised user's account. A T-Mobile spokesperson was not available for comment when contacted by Bleeping Computer earlier today. An unknown actor gained access to certain account information. It appears the actor may then have used this information to port your line to a different carrier without your authorization, T-Mobile said. T-Mobile identified this activity and terminated the unauthorized access and implemented measures to protect against reoccurrence. The information accessed by the hackers might have included customers' full names, addresses, email addresses, account numbers, social security numbers, account personal identification numbers, PIN, account security questions and answers, date of birth, plan information, and the number of lines subscribed to their accounts. T-Mobile quickly identified and terminated the unauthorized activity. However, we do recommend that you change your customer account PIN, the company also said. Impacted T-Mobile customers are advised to change their account's password PIN as well as their security questions and answers. T-Mobile is offering 2 years of free credit monitoring and identity theft detection services through TransUnion's My True Identity. 5th data breach in 4 years. This is the 5th data breach, make that number 5, disclosed by T-Mobile during the last 4 years. All of them have been reported after hackers gained access to customer data. T-Mobile previously suffered from breaches in 2018 when millions of customers' info was accessed by hackers, and in 2019 after exposing prepaid customers' data. Last year, the company disclosed 2 more breaches, one in March 2020 when attackers gained access to customer employee data. Yikes. In December of 2020, about 2 months back, T-Mobile suffered another data breach after unknown threat actors gained access to customers' phone numbers and call records. And at the end of the article, it says Bleeping Computer knows at least of one T-Mobile customer impacted by a SIM hijacking attack during the last month. So SIM hijack attacks are quite common, which is quite scary, meaning somebody can hijack your phone service to gain access to your telephone number and immediately do bad things with that, like just automatically take over and hijack it. They can just take it from you. Twitter scammers earned over $145K this week in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin cryptocurrency. North Korean hackers target defense industry with custom malware. This gets interesting. The Lazarus Group. I'll read. A North Korean-backed hacking group has targeted the defense industry with custom backdoor malware dubbed Threat-Needle since early 2020 with the end goal of collecting highly sensitive information. This espionage campaign affected organizations from more than a dozen countries and was coordinated by the DPRK-backed state hackers tracked as the Lazarus Group. The attackers used COVID-19 themed spear phishing emails with malicious attachments or links as the initial access vector of the company's enterprise network. After the initial compromise, they installed the group's custom-made threat needle backdoor malware first used in 2018 in attacks targeting cryptocurrency businesses. Once installed, Threat Needle is able to obtain full control of the victim's device, meaning it can do everything from manipulating files, executing received commands, Kaspersky security researchers said earlier today. I'm not going to continue to read the rest of this much, but basically the Lazarus Group is notoriously known for hacking Sony films as part of Operation Blockbuster and behind the WannaCry ransomware campaign. Remember the Sony Films attack when they were launching, I forget the name of the movie with Seth Rogen. Thank you, Speed King. I forget. It's the interview that now it comes to mind. It's the interview with Seth Rogen that mimics Kim Jong Un in the movie, and I remember the Sony Pictures hack that notoriously gained notoriety for that, and that was scary. Basically, Sony Pictures got broken into and destroyed. I am going to do gaming. Don't worry. I'm just reading some security news, selecting some articles that may be interesting to hear about. Microsoft Xbox Live outage prevents players from logging in. On February 25th, which is less than a few days ago, Microsoft Xbox Live went down for more than 4 hours. I'll read a little bit. Xbox Live outage is suffering a worldwide outage that prevents users from logging into the service and accessing games. This also affected Xbox 360 users too. The outage, I'm an Xbox 360 user, me, so the outage started approximately 3 p.m. Eastern Time and affects both Xbox Live and apps that rely on it, such as Windows 10's Xbox Game Bar and Xbox app. Microsoft is aware of the outage and has posted the following description to the Xbox Live status page. You may not be able to sign into your Xbox profile, may be disconnected while signed in, or have other related issues. Further features that require sign-in, like most games and apps, social activity won't be available. Their latest status update from 5:12 p.m. Eastern Time states that they are close to resolving the issue. Bleeping Computers contacted Microsoft to learn more about what caused the outage. Microsoft Edge for Windows 10 is getting a kids mode, kid-friendly mode. Basically, it is providing a safe environment for children. This kids mode is targeted towards ages of 5 and 8 and 9 through 12. It provides limited browsing experiences as being safe search, children-friendly content, and restricted access to only family-friendly sites. The nice thing about the new kids mode is you do not have to set up Windows Family Mode or install parental control software. Instead, you simply click on your profile button to select Browser Kids Mode as shown below. Once enabled, the browser will go into full screen mode and display a family-friendly background with being safe search field and quick links to popular kids sites. To exit kids mode, a parent will need to enter their password, making it possible for the kid to exit without permission. This feature is available now in Edge Canary and will roll out to the Edge Dev channel soon. So that feature is in Edge Canary in the Edge Dev zone. It's not in the stable version of Edge just yet. There is Microsoft Edge for Linux, Edge Beta, released. Microsoft fixes a Windows 10 corruption bug already. It involves SSDs. Basically, Windows 10 can get corrupted when attempting to run a check disk command. When you run that command, actually, yeah, let's see. No, it's a specifically crafted file that causes the corruption. There was a check disk command that would be known to corrupt something on SSDs, a corruption problem. Windows 10 fixes the corruption issue. Things like that. I read through 2 articles, one about Gmail, one about North Korea, one about Xbox Live outage, one about T-Mobile, and one about the Firefox. And then, let's see, I'm going to pick up on... That's pretty much it for the security news portion. I'll do more again in future streams. I'll read another one that's posted February 26th directly. The week in ransomware, February 26, 2021, back from the holidays. The number of attacks has slowed down after the winter holidays, but after the past 2 weeks, it's evident the ransomware attacks are going back at full speed again. Over the past 2 weeks, we've had some significant attacks, including attacks on discount car and truck rentals, and a alleged attack on Kia, Motors, Hyundai, UL, Tieto, Every, Ecuador's Ministry of Finance, and its largest bank, Banco Pichincha. I cannot pronounce its Spanish name. The Ecuador's Spanish name bank. I cannot pronounce it without butchering it. A recent ransomware attack on automatic funds transfer services, or AFTS, also led to a series of data breach notifications from U.S. cities that use them as a payment processor. Finally, Mandiant reported that recent Accellion FJ breaches have been conducted by hackers affiliated with the Clop ransomware operation. In a win for law enforcement, an operation between the USA, France, and Ukraine has led to numerous egregor members' arrests, practically shutting down the ransomware operation. On the technical side, we learned that the riot now has worm-like functionality, allowing it to spread to other Windows devices. Most of y'all may have already heard about CD Projekt Red getting hit by a ransomware gang, where the source code got sold by the ransomware gang. There's a Tortoise ransomware decryptor release, leading Canadian rental car company hit by DarkSide ransomware. Kia Motors got a ransomware attack. There's a new ransomware called the new Makop variant, new Stop ransomware. U.S. cities disclosed data breaches after vendors' ransomware attack. CIS offers now free ransomware protection to all U.S. hospitals. Underwriter Laboratories UL certification giant hit by ransomware. Lakehead University shuts down their campus network entirely after a cyber attack. The Canadian Undergraduate Research University did. New Dharma ransomware variant. Global Accellion data breaches linked to Cloud ransomware. I read about that. There's a new 4 Dharma ransomware variant. Finnish IT services giant Tieto Every discloses ransomware attack. There's a new Urs Dharma ransomware variant. Q4 2020 doxing victim trends. Industrial sector emerges as primary ransom non-payer. New Thunder X Rancy variant. February 24th, Cyberpunk 2077 patch 1.2 delayed by CD Projekt Red ransomware attack. Ransomware gang extorts Jetmaker Bombardier after Accellion breach. New CLman Dharma ransomware variant. I'm reading all the new summary roundups. February 25th, Dutch Research Council NWO confirms a network ransomware attack data leak. There's actually a type of ransomware known after the rapper Snoop Dogg, called the Snoop Dogg ransomware. It's weird. I don't know if it relates to the rapper Snoop Dogg or it's not. I don't know. The tweet, I can find the tweet. It might have something to do with the rapper Snoop Dogg. I don't know. But Michael Gillespie found a new ransomware that appends to Snoop Dogg and drops a ransom note named decrypt-me.txt. There's a new Team Assist ransomware. This one is February 26th, which was yesterday. Ryuk ransomware now self-spreads to other Windows LAN devices. Ransomware gang hacks Ecuador's largest private bank, Ministry of Finance, and that's it for the week. So that's the security articles for the week. Gaming starts. I just thought I'd read the security news a bit first. Every several streams ahead to give people what's going on. Time to game. Switching to game. I have games like Unwell. I've got quite a lot of games installed. A lot of them filled in the computer. I played Jet Set Radio on my last stream. It featured Rob Zombie's music, Dragula, the remixed version of it for Jet Set Radio, JSR or JGR, Jet Grind Radio. I want to fire up the Amazon Games Launcher. Hang on. And I'm chatting to a scammer on Hangouts from Instagram that sounds very, very fishy. Their email address is tylermorris at 226 at yahoo.com, which is odd. So I'm going to leave them on that. There is Mafia5. The account vanishes. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The correct answer is I have not seen the game coming out that looks to be a spiritual successor to Jet Grind Games. I don't know if I have seen it or not. I don't know. I hope it's officially done by Sega or somebody partnering with them, because it would look good if it was redone by Sega, but it would look bad if it wasn't done by Sega and it was done somebody who didn't know what they were doing. I don't know. Okay, so Amazon Prime Gaming has in-game loot for PC, console, and mobile included with Prime. So these are all the loots you can get. You can get loot. So hang on, I'm going to twitch.amazon.com. Basically, you can get the Imperial Projection and more with Destiny 2 with Prime, directly through Prime Gaming. You can get Paladins, Doom, Shroom, Grover skin. These are all the loots you can get with Prime Gaming. The different in-game loots for Agar.io, Helix Jump, Maple Story, Fall Guys, Red Dead, Roblox, Rainbow Six Siege, Black Desert, War of the Visions, World of Warships, UFC 4, Cube, Surfer, Rocket Arena, more. Like, you can get loot that enables ad-free skins, item bundles. These are all the games with Prime that I've claimed for this month. Next month it's going to get ready to start soon, and then it'll bring more games. So that's basically what this is. You can link your Twitch account to Prime Gaming at gaming.amazon.com/home to start getting free games and loot and things like that. Hole.io. I've never heard of Hole.io. Let's research. Okay, nope. Hole.io.com or hole-io.com. It's an arcade puzzle scissors game. This is it. It's coronavirus.io, which is weird. Wait. Who in the world created coronavirus.io. Like, really? This is what it looks like. Whole-io.com. Someone created this along with coronavirus.io, which is weird. Someone did make it, and I don't know why. My dog is barking. This is what it looks like. You click and drag the hole around, and you scroll everything in the hole with it. It's a web-based game, so it does not require downloading and installing. The audio isn't really available. There's no audio. By the looks of it. My dog is barking. I'm sorry if the graphics are running, the frame rate's running a little slow, and my computer fan is auto controlled, meaning it's ramping up in speeds. So that's going to be expected when doing multi things, like making it work a little harder. The hole grows bigger in size. Okay, there isn't a performance. Come back to that later. There's a bit of an issue when running that. It's putting a little bit of pressure, causing some stream issues. So I'll have to pause for a bit to alleviate a problem, to fix a problem. Hang on. I'm getting, okay, now it says 23 FPS and it's now green, so I have to wait a bit to wait for it to alleviate pressure, to prevent putting a strain. Okay, we're going to do more games. Some games may put a little pressure on the computer, causing performance problems out on OBS, but on person it runs smooth. We're going to play Dungeon Rushers. So I apologize for the inconvenience if there's performance problems. Okay, it wants to know profile configuration. It wants to know nickname on Twitter. I don't want to know all that. Okay, I'm gonna have to close out. I'll have to just close out of that. I'll just play this demo. Hashtag 2246. This game is interesting. It's called Dungeon Rushers. Settings. Okay, I'll set it down lower. Oh. There is going to be some strange performance problems. Performance issues. I'm sorry about that. There's going to be some performance problems. to play a simpler game that will put pressure on pressure things a bit and make things run a little bit slow. PictoQuest is going to be one that I would try. I'm trying to figure out what games are on stream, which ones won't cause hang-ups or slowdowns. PictoQuest is Picross in a simplified form. Whoops. The goal is to do picture solving, is to fill in squares to reveal a picture. I'm going to have to try to turn off full screen mode. What is it, Stitch? Sorry about that. Okay, I'm lowering the desktop audio a bit. I'm sorry if that was loud. Let me do windowed mode. Apparently there seems to be a frame rate problem and performance problems with something that won't play correctly on stream. Okay, let me turn off windowed mode because this is just getting embarrassing. Some games will play without OBS running, some will not play with it running, so it's kind of a problem. If I had a computer with HDMI out and another computer with HDMI in, I'd be able to capture from it, like a capture on a separate PC, but that's not going to happen. Let me turn off the mode.